Hello, hello, everybody. So, welcome for another career and spirituality conversations. So, in case you don't know the podcast yet, I'm Julie Pone, your host, and I support spiritual seekers having a career experience to reconcile what they do for a living with who they are as a soul. And I'm super excited to talk with Isabelle today to help me with this mission, with this sharing these ideas. Isabelle Daikeler. Hi Isabelle, how are you?
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Comment ça va since
Ça va
since
très bien?
since we are both francophone? Yes. I'm
We're
delighted
going to do our
to.
best in English. Yeah.
Yes, 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 exactly. Well, it's going to be, I'll do my best to hide my French accent, but I can't guarantee.
You can't hide it.
No, I can't hide it. No,
Just heads up.
no, no, it's impossible. I sound like I've arrived in Ireland a week ago and it's been 20 years. So look, it is what it is.
I know. It doesn't go away. I can't get rid of mine either.
Okay, yeah.
It's okay.
I don't hear it though. I don't hear it.
Oh,
No,
that's
no, no,
because,
I
not
don't.
because you're French,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
they
I'm just
do.
waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Isabel. So before we launch into the conversation, we're gonna do a 1, 2 minutes grounding and breathing.
Yes.
And so, yes, so I suggest we start. Let's close our eyes. And for you listening, yes, make yourself comfortable. And we're just gonna just notice first becoming aware of our bodies and the weight of our bodies where we're sitting. Also the weight of our feet on the floor. And then bringing our attention and our focus all the way back into our chest and our heart. And we are going to imagine as if our breath is flowing in and out through our heart. And here, let's just breathe a little bit deeper and slower than we usually do. In a rhythm that's comfortable and steady. And I let us know when we've done it for about a minute. And one more cycle of breath. Before slowly bringing ourselves back and opening our eyes.
Wow. It's
Hello,
so
welcome.
nice.
Yes.
Hi. Oh my God. This is such a great way to start.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
Thank you. You know what? I need it, so so
Yeah.
everyone benefits that way.
Yeah.
Isabel, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
yeah, so I know that you are, or at least you've been, a
Yes.
wellness advisor, fitness and nutrition expert, and you even have your a company that makes some nutrition products, Shakeology, and other programs. But I also know that there is a lot more to you that and
Yes.
that your career has shifted and we're going to actually discover all of that together and the new version of, of
Yeah.
what you're bringing to the world, so to speak.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Like we just were talking a little bit before.
Yeah.
It's perfect that I'm introduced that way
Mhm.
because I'm still doing that,
Yeah.
but my heart is
Yeah.
also very involved in a whole other line of work. I don't
Yeah.
even consider it work.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and 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 it really changed my life. It really did.
Yeah.
It doesn't look from the outside, I'm not sure if people would see it that way because in a
Uh-huh.
way it's a continuation. So it was my world was health, really,
Yeah.
right? Fitness trainer,
Yeah.
coach, rehabilitation expert,
Uh-huh.
body work,
Yeah.
nutrition, as you said. So my focus was always on health and well-being, and I still do some of that. But when I gave birth to my boy, there was a few incidents before, but I
Mm-hmm.
won't get into that right now. The
Okay.
big moment was when I gave birth to my boy. He's 17 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was seeing myself as the super athletic woman with her baby on in a backpack and hiking. And, that was my vision. And once I gave birth to him, within 3 months, I couldn't walk anymore. And I was not really able to walk or
Mm-hmm.
exercise or really just barely function in the house for almost 12 years, 10 to 12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
God.
So he completely reversed the course of my life. First, from this very basic place of my identification was to that strong athletic
Yeah.
woman. And suddenly all of that went out the window. I was like 120, 25 muscular strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down to 103, 102, 104, something like that. I
And
lost,
sorry, 102, what's the
that's pounds.
oh, pounds. Okay, okay, okay. Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
right now I'm 115 and I think it's 55 kilograms, something
Oh,
like that.
yeah, okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
I was really thin. I lost all my muscle mass and and I was in pain. So I won't get into the
Yeah.
gritty stuff of the physicality of it all, but I was in pain 24/7, um, acute pain and low grade, constant chronic pain. And after a long time of, I was an expert myself. So you would think I could get myself out of it, try to figure out how to
Mhm.
get back on my feet, but
Yeah.
I couldn't. And at some point, we were on vacation and I had to have a nanny to carry
Yeah.
my son. And they went out to dinner with my husband, and I was left on the floor with my legs. When you lay on the floor and you have your
Mhm.
legs on a chair, 90-degree, that was the positions that was the less painful for me. And at some point, God, and I'm not talking a human version of God,
Mhm.
but God as creation itself, the powers that
Mhm.
created all of this was never, it was always kind of present, but in a very loose, relaxed way. I never
Mhm.
really prayed,
Mhm.
but I liked the concept of it.
Yeah.
It kind of made sense in terms of this is all crazy, all that exists. I can't comprehend or make sense of it. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot there.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't call myself, somebody who was deeply centered in God. So hopefully I'm
Mhm.
not insulting anybody by using the word God. Nowadays, you never know, but it's a good, succinct word, and we
Okay.
all know what we mean in a way.
Yeah.
So that night was the first night that I was completely surrendered. I was in pain. I was lost. I was scared. I had been in pain for so long now with nobody having any answers for me. So I didn't see the end of it. It was
Mhm.
difficult on my marriage. It was difficult on my mental well-being, trying to be a mother, being a new mother. Um, and I really prayed in the way, now that I look at it, I realize, oh, that's what prayer is. Meaning you surrender your ego and your thinking that you know anything.
Mhm.
So it was truly just, I am so lost and I know I don't have the answers and I'm so scared. I'm in such pain. Help, like
Yeah.
just help. And it was such a deep prayer that I had an instant answer, meaning that my body started to, I explained it as a V. I was
Mhm.
on my tailbone, I was on a wood floor.
Yeah.
My upper and lower body lifted and started shaking. And I
Mhm.
was sort of levitating like that on my tailbone
No
for
way.
3 days, 3 nights,
What?
nonstop. Yeah. And I would think, oh my God, I have to pee so bad. And
Yeah.
then it would stop. I would
Yeah.
crawl to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
And then on my way back, my body would start shaking. I
Yeah.
would go right back to the very area that I was, levitate again, and start shaking nonstop. I look back now and I see that it's kind of a somatic work. I
Uh-huh.
was unwinding
Yeah.
my system,
Uh,
shaking things loose.
yeah.
And I know now they explained it to me as I I had built an armor, physical strong armor, but inside I was so scared. And they pulled me like a t-shirt inside out and rang me.
Mm.
And so that I would build the strength from the inner out.
Oh, yes.
And so even though that moment is the moment that people are like, whoa, I look back now, I realize that was nothing. That was
Mhm.
the beginning.
Yeah.
And within those nights is when the channeling happened. So I
Mhm.
don't know if your audience is aware of channeling. Are they?
I would say like maybe some maybe yeah some people are coming more from the spiritual angle and maybe some from the more pragmatic career angle. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe if we can just
Yes.
in a few
Explain a little
words,
bit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe
And
because sometimes maybe different people have a different
yes, we all
yeah
have different
yeah
experience of it.
yeah
For me, it feels very, it's not out there. It's like
mhm,
the deepest, wisest, best friend you could possibly have
yeah
that has lived longer than you and no more and
uh-huh
sees the bigger picture, right? It's that deep, wise voice. We all have a sense of it
mhm,
in and out. We get moments of it. But
yeah
that voice became very loud.
okay
And it's as if from that moment on, it was present in my consciousness and I could rely on it. I
mhm,
could speak to it
mhm,
internally, not out loud, but
yeah
I could I could close my eyes, just like the meditation you did. I could get to
yeah
that space and receive answers that were always honest and not always easy to hear,
mhm,
and but always kind
yeah
and much kinder and nicer to myself than I've ever been,
yeah
right? So those moments, those two things happen in that moment.
yeah
And then the next decades of my life, were just the seeding. That was a seeding.
mhm,
And then it took all that time to let it grow and bloom.
wow
Um, I'm not
uh,
sure if I'm in the blooming state yet, but it
mhm,
is growing. It is becoming a an organic sensory body thing, meaning I am learning to live it, which is what it's all about. We can have beautiful concept up here
yeah
and never live up to any of them.
yeah
So it's taking me, and it is taking me, and I'm still in the process
yeah
of just understanding what was seeded.
okay
So it took me all that time to find a person that was able to help me get back on my feet, bless
mhm,
his soul, um, and and all that time to just grow into what was seeded. And this is where obviously I could not go back to what I was doing,
mhm,
which was needing me to be solid on my 2 feet and
yeah
very strong. I was also doing body work at the time called Chinate Tsang. It's a
yeah
Chinese modality of healing work, of body work.
mhm,
And I thought, oh, when I was able to be a little bit less in pain and able to maneuver more on my feet, but not really work on my feet,
mhm,
I thought, oh, I can do my body work. I can,
yeah
because my body work was on the floor. I can work on people. And I had a surfer that came, and I started preparing myself to work on him. It starts with the arm and the elbow and the belly.
Mhm.
And my hands went up and started, like, I could feel the energy like it was water, so thick and real. And I was like, oh, because going back in time, back in my more rational ways,
Yeah,
if I had a massage and I would ask someone to work on me and they would say, oh, I'll just do a little bit of Reiki before we start,
yeah.
I'd be like, no,
You'd be like
no, I
rolling your
don't want
eyes and
Reiki.
like,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
I don't want that.
yeah,
Just do the body work. So I was
mhm,
very arrogant about it. So when my hands went up
yeah,
and I realized, holy shit,
yeah.
this is energy work. Like, no. So I tried again and my hands went
Yeah.
up again.
Ah,
And that was another transition.
mhm.
So, so these moments is what led me to what I do now. I'll stop here and
Yeah.
see if there's anything you want to ask.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. Wow. So I would, yeah, have some questions to reconcile with some things that I had read about you,
Yes.
and so you had this health issues after your son was born, but
Hmm.
I had read that you had a like I assume previously an accident.
Yes, yes.
So
Well, like
it
I said, I didn't want to go too deep into, I was
okay,
trying to find a
okay,
moment, but I'll
okay.
go anywhere you want to go.
Because it sounds, when you describe this, and with the little bit that I had read about you, suddenly it sounded like you were in a even different career first. Then you had an accident that again left you, like, in a state that, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't come back from. And sounds like you got yourself out of that
Yes.
in an amazing way.
I
And that's
didn't
why
learn my lesson.
yeah, and I'm like so surprised now to hear, because I thought you were going to talk to us about that. And I'm like, oh my God. And after that, she had a second round.
Yes. This is how
So,
stubborn I was.
but is it how,
The universe knocked.
yeah,
I didn't listen. Then it sort of slapped me. I didn't listen. And then it knocked my head on the wall and I paid attention.
it's like that joke that we say about, our spirit guides, our guardian angel being like, oh,
That's right. That's me. I must have a
but
team.
yeah, but is it that, or is it that, that you had to have that that it was part of the plan, that the
It
first
probably all
time,
of it.
maybe, yeah, the
But
first
I
time
think I
to
could
get,
have learned faster. I
yeah,
think I'm
yeah,
hoping that
yeah,
part of what's happening now
yeah,
is that perhaps we can learn to respond at the knock.
oh yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Oh, I get it. Thank you so much. I'll do that now.
yeah, yeah, can
Right?
yeah,
My
yeah,
hope is that's what's happening right now.
yeah, if we could leave, if we can have the memo even before they start knocking, just send us
Yes,
an email or
yes.
something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that doesn't feel right. Therefore, I'm going to change course.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. So,
Oh wow,
yes, I had that. I
yeah,
had several
yeah,
things
yeah.
because my family back home is in the film industry. So I
Uh-huh,
was expected to be in the film industry.
uh-huh,
I was for a little bit. And then when I came to LA, I realized after a little while that actually it was not at all what I wanted to be. It was not fulfilling for me.
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I admired a lot of it. I loved that kind of creativity, but it was not fulfilling for
yeah,
me. So it was my first shift. That's when I realized, oh, my true love is really health and well-being, and I went into that, and then I had that car crash that led me deeper into rehabilitation, body work.
yeah,
But also, that's what brought me to an understanding, even back then, that I really enjoyed talking to people. That throughout my work, getting to know a human being and having real conversations was always just the backdrop that I actually really liked, but I didn't pick up on it as much. But I
mhm,
was always looking forward to knowing the person I was going to work with more.
yeah,
I was interested in those conversations. And that actually, that continued in my work now, except that it's not the backdrop anymore, it's the forefront. And and as you said, all of my health and fitness experience and nutrition and all that is really useful when I'm speaking and hanging out with my clients now, because that's very a fertile soil, because it is part of, I consider it part of our spiritual well-being, because I don't objectify the body at all. The body is divine, and the body I always talk about as if it's sewn with God. God is the thread
Mm-hmm.
that sewed this amazing bio machine, right?
Yeah.
So when I speak to people, I feel like I speak to the body as well. There's no difference. I don't see mind body connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's one thing.
Yeah.
So it all serves me. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but you've been through, it's fair to say that your body has gone through
Oh gosh,
through
yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
like it's in a way that, really like reminds me of Joe Dis Joe Dispenza,
Oh,
who
yes.
like, came back from such
He
a,
went through so much. Yes.
yeah, so in a sense, it, to arrive to such a degree of being able to bring so much, make such a difference and have such an impact, like energetically and others with people, maybe it is necessary in a sense for people whose
Yeah.
path it is to go through
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I got knocked a lot. I got a
Mhm.
lot of little car crash, like car
Mhm.
accident until the big
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But I was stubborn.
Mhm.
Like I was stubborn.
Yeah.
Um, and by stubborn, the truth is I was scared,
Mhm.
right? And and that fear, I'm still moving through that. I'm still working on that. But I'm
Yeah,
much more, I'm kinder. It's not the enemy anymore,
yeah.
right? I just understand what it's teaching me.
Mhm.
And so I don't beat myself up the way I did. And I think that's really the depth of what all of humanity is going through. This fear. I always talk about the same thing, the fear of not being enough,
Mhm.
not good enough, somebody else is not good enough. Um, Not lovable.
Mhm.
Somebody else is not lovable.
Yeah.
That's really the bottom line of so much of what we do through the ego, which to me, the ego is not the enemy either. It has a really good function.
Mhm.
It's just not the leader. You want the heart to lead,
Yeah.
and the ego is a great VP,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just flipping, just like they flipped me with my body.
Mhm.
It's just flipping that hierarchy.
Yeah.
Actually, there's no hierarchy. It's a perfect sort of combo.
Yeah.
And what happened to me, I think, is just now spirit is online. My soul is the leader, and I understand it. And I can flip more easily between the perspective of the soul, and
Mhm.
I'm still human and moving through all that.
Yeah.
So that was the flip for my career, but I don't see it as a before and after. I see it as a perfect continuation.
Yeah.
I just continued my journey into health and fitness,
Mhm.
because now I also am much more clear, and I think a lot of the world is more clear that our emotional, mental well-being has
Yeah.
a lot to do with our physical well-being. So when I talk to someone, like if I see someone who's very fit, but I sense fear and tension.
Mhm.
They're afraid of being sick. And I have tendril of that myself. So I recognize that. And so that's that's the health point. I
Mhm.
want to grab that thread and pull it,
Yeah.
untangle it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go at fitness out of fear of aging or fear of being ill.
Mhm.
That's not health. You want to
Yeah.
step into the health and fitness world just so that you can fully enjoy what the body experience can give you and
Mm.
fully enjoy what is it like when spirit is enmeshed, when I consciously push the button on my soul so that I say, yes, I want my soul to be part of this body experience as much as possible. What happens when you do that? And that's what happened to me, and that's what's still happening to me. And I'm still a human being, and I still
Yeah.
have fears, and still challenged, and there's no perfection. And that's when the seeking ends. The seeking means that now spirit pulls you in. You don't seek as much as you're being pulled in
Oh.
deeper.
Yeah.
So you're not seeking out of fear.
Mm.
You're being pulled in because you're surrendering, you're letting go, welcoming.
Mm.
You're welcoming it because it pulled you enough. You seeked enough that now the current is taking you.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, you're really scared of the current because it changes things. But eventually, you trust that the current will lead you back to the ocean.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
start surrendering more. So there's still curves and rocks and things, but you trust that it's going to lead you back to the ocean. And then eventually you trust that being in the river is actually being in the ocean because all of it is water.
Yeah.
So it's a different nuance on the seeking aspect,
Yeah.
because we seek that which we are.
Yeah.
Right? We
So
are
we probably
that.
seek it outside as well. That's
Well,
what
that's what it
yeah, that's what you
exactly.
made me think about. The nuance between seeking is like looking for something
Out
outside,
there.
out there, and then the difference between that and surrendering because it's already in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so often it really mixes well with Jung and
Mhm.
good psychology, which is the shadow, right? So
Yeah.
first we seek the
Yeah.
shadow, that which says I'm not good enough and I'm not lovable, will seek validation on the outside out of fear and out of whatever we had to do to be loved and be
Mhm.
taken care of as a young child. We know we need to be taken care of. Therefore, we morph ourselves to our environment to get the validation and get the love. And we move from that child state to the adult state, never really having, again, pulled the thread out of that shadow. But then the shadow seeks because we know
Mm.
we want to feel loved and we want to feel enough. But we have all these, strategies to get love and to
Mm.
feel enough that are not really just the truth of being lovable just because and being enough just because.
Mhm.
Then we impose that on others, right? Because we want the outside
Yeah.
to calm us and let us know that we are lovable and enough.
Yeah.
And that's the seeking, right? But
And that
eventually,
makes sense because when we arrive at when we land in there,
yes,
we arrive from this all one place to suddenly we look separate
yeah,
from the other. So it
yeah,
makes sense from the senses point of view.
yeah. Yeah,
Then
even giving
it looks
birth.
like it can only come from the other.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I don't know if that's designed that way or if there's an evolution there where we can be born and, as we all grow up,
Yeah.
honestly grow up emotionally, then
Mhm.
we raise our children differently and if that transformation happens and so because I can see that what happened to me really helped me raise my kid differently.
Mhm.
So my kid has a real organic, innate, felt sense of God, right? That I didn't have.
Mhm.
And so I think that transformation happens that way. We transform and then it
Mhm.
continues with our children, with our friends, with the way we treat others, so that eventually you're not seeking outside, you're seeking inward, and therefore you stop seeking.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, stop seeking doesn't mean, oh well, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's
Yeah.
that now
Yeah.
you're in the
Yeah.
current,
Yeah.
you've seeked enough, you've bang your head against the wall enough, you've had enough car crash,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
starting to let go of your grip out of fear and insecurities,
Mhm.
and you're slowly just trusting it. And often again, the ego makes us feel like, oh, if we do that, then life is not challenging anymore. We confuse spirituality and God with, now I get everything I want and I
Mhm.
have no more problem with my body and everything's going to be fine. And that's not the God. That's not what spirituality is about. We're still here on planet Earth at this time, moving through things this way. And it's so looking for God that way is looking for daddy or mommy to make
Yeah.
everything okay, right? So we
I agree.
undoing that is also another tricky adult, another deeper level of wanting to be taken care of. So it's there's a lot there. There's a lot to undo. That's why I said those moments I just explained to you were just the seeding.
Mhm.
And then it's taking all that time so that it's not just concept in my mind, but now I can surrender more. And I'm
Mhm.
just starting. I feel like I'm just starting. And that's what I provide at the center.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
Tell us
way
about
to
the
do
center.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know, do you end up helping people more through the lens of people who want to improve their health or not necessarily?
I'll be there. I'll show up wherever you are.
Okay.
So I get a lot of people that, sorry, I swallowed my water wrong, that are just starting to ask questions, things that they used to be okay enough is not anymore, or they had great health challenges. Um, they feel alone. Things don't make sense the way they used to. I get a lot of that. And I also get people that just want to experience the harmonic egg, which we can talk about.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they'd heard that it was great for the central nervous system,
Mm.
meaning it's like an amazing meditation. Even if you suck at meditating, you'll step in that and have this sense felt feeling of deep calm. So they'll come just for that, but often it will lead to more.
Mm.
But I'll meet them wherever they need to meet. And some people won't want to talk that much. And some people will come out of the egg and really want to discuss what just happened or what vision they had or
Mhm.
what happened to them. And
Yeah.
some people will go from that to wanting to explore healing work, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe tell us about the egg so that people who've just,
oh,
they're
yes,
probably wondering, oh, what people coming out of the egg? What's, you
that's
know?
exactly right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I've seen the picture, like the pictures is like, oh wow, I didn't even know something like that existed. It's crazy.
It's so
So
nice.
cool. Yeah,
Gail
yeah,
created the egg, and
yeah,
it's literally an egg. It's a
yeah,
huge egg
yeah,
shape. It's an
yeah,
egg
yeah.
made out of wood, and
Uh-huh.
it has sacred geometry. It's built within sacred geometry. There's little angles all over the egg, and inside you step in, and there's a big, comfortable chairs that
Yeah.
reclines to zero gravity. Zero
Uh-huh.
gravity is a very soothing place for your system, but you
Uh-huh.
can go as low as you want, whatever
Yeah.
works for you. And then there's a light on top and a light below,
Mhm.
which is loosely based on chakra, the chakra
Yeah.
system,
Mhm.
green for the heart, the color system. And so I will channel or go according to the book.
Yeah.
Because when you get the egg, you get trained, and there's a book,
Oh,
and we
wow.
have hundreds of songs,
Yeah.
and there's a light settings, and it's not flashing lights or disco. It's just like it almost feels like a moon
Mm-hmm.
or a sun, and it's above and below you. Um, and we choose two lights, and then it creates a third one that is on the walls of the egg. And then we start a song that we talked about and chose for you, and you
You're
sit
not
in
in
there.
the egg with the person.
Yeah, I step in, set them up in the chair. Then I
Okay.
close the egg and I start the music.
Okay. And
And
can
then
you
the mu-
can you talk to them? You
yes, yes. Yeah,
you
they
talk
can
to
hear
them.
me.
Okay. 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 But you're not
Yeah.
inside with them. They're on their own in the
No,
egg. Okay. Okay.
I set them up and then I
Yeah.
step out,
Yeah.
close the door, and then I'll start the music.
Uh-huh.
And the music and the light is moved 365
Uh-huh.
degree, up and around you. So it's a really, like I explained to you before we started the conversation, it's a very body felt experience.
Mhm.
And it's an amazing central nervous system reset. You come out of that very chill.
Yeah.
So, as I said to you, it's as if it helps you stop fighting all these imaginary monsters
Mm.
that you fear and you think can create, and it really calms you down. So, the hope is that it becomes your new default. The
Mm.
same way that we meditate in
Yeah.
order to bring a new default setting so you're not so reactive, but
Yeah.
you respond because there's a breath, there's a pause, and you're not just instantly out of fear or out of, a protective mechanism,
Mhm.
but you don't respond from there, but you respond from a more calm,
Yeah.
loving place.
Yeah.
So that's what the egg does. And then you step out and we usually talk. Usually I
Mm.
have conversation with people, but sometimes not. People want to remain quiet. My space has it's outside on top of a mountain, and there's beautiful space there where you can go in my temple or you can go behind and just chill and relax and let the experience process itself. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, the combination of geometry, sound, like vibration,
Yes.
basically. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting the nervous system to basically getting us out of human animal so that we can step into human spirit. Like, well,
That's right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's right.
They're not my, I got those, I like the expression human animal, human spirit, but that's Alison Armstrong who says that. I just
I
want to
see.
give
It's
credit. Like,
lovely.
it's not me,
Yeah.
but I find it is like it's so
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But there is the soul aspect that's
Mm,
very, very real.
mm,
Without it, where would the human body be?
yeah,
And that calming of your um, stress response really helps you feel that soul aspect.
yeah.
Yeah.
So about that, because what I'm aiming to help people with is,
Yeah.
the career journey,
Yes.
where like so many people are by effect of the pressure of the work environment are on constant nervous system,
Fight or flight.
yeah, fight or
Yes.
flight.
Yes.
And then it becomes difficult, to get access to that
Yeah.
inner voice
Mm.
that would allow
Yeah.
them to even just navigate their career, first of all,
Yeah.
never mind the rest.
Yeah.
uh,
Yes, exactly.
so
Yeah.
like how what's your take or your advice, or what would be your first, the first thing that you would suggest or you would help people with who are in difficult, work situations and in
Yeah.
chronic fight or flights, maybe not even sometimes realizing it, but who don't maybe have access to some super efficient nervous system regulators like the egg or, or healing modalities or things like that.
Yeah.
What would you?
Well, it's so funny
Mhm.
because everything that we create on the outside stems from what is already accessible on the inside. So
Mhm.
I'll go back to the very beginning of this podcast
Yeah.
where you made us breathe, right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
whole point of all of it, all the meditation, all the technique, all the books, all the young
Yeah.
psychoanalysis, right? All of it really is to get yourself back to that loving, kind, peaceful place.
Mhm.
Um, and and all of it is an exteriorization of what is already present in the very makeup of what you're made of.
Mhm.
So your breath, you don't have to pay anybody for it. You don't have to go anywhere, but we underestimate it and we don't make use of it enough.
Yeah.
So, yes, the first thing I would say is that however poor or rich you are, the
Mhm.
greatest tool is your breath. This is why meditation is such a thing.
Yeah.
It has existed for thousands of years. There's nothing I say that hasn't been said for thousands of years.
Mm.
But we all need to hear it from a different angle, from a different perspective. We're all very different with different life experiences. So somebody will say things in a certain way, or the entry point will come from a different place.
Yeah.
But if I was to say the most easily accessible tool is your breath.
Mm.
And that breath that you did, what's that organization, the
Half
Heart?
math? Half math.
Yes, Heart
Yes.
Math.
This
They
is
really
half math.
nailed
Yeah.
it.
No surprise.
Yes.
It is half math. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they nailed it.
Yeah.
That deep breath of slowly in and even slowlier
Yeah.
out really puts you in that egg space,
Ah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
principle. Um, the egg helps. It's almost like the lazy way to go about it, meaning
Mm.
even if you are so unnerved or
Yeah.
scared of meditation, you just can't sit.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the breath, especially when you're achy. I
Yeah.
can put you in the egg and you can be in your complete resistant state and it
Mm-hmm.
will still fuck with your system, right? It
Yeah.
will still put you in a calmer place, whether you
Yeah.
want it or not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's accessible by just accessing your breath. And once your breath is calmer, deeper,
Mm-hmm.
Art Math makes it clear that thinking of gratitude, whether it's your dog, your child, your parent, a situation, nature, focusing your breath with this sense of gratitude,
Mm.
that's the alchemy.
Yeah.
That's the shift that if you only do it a couple of minutes, several times a day,
Yeah.
it will break down those barriers of what we call the ego.
Yeah.
Although I don't like vilifying the ego the way we do, but there is truth to
Mm-hmm.
that mind, that incessant mind that is built on history,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
built on what has happened from the moment you were born on.
Mm-hmm.
We are much older than that. Our
Yeah.
soul is
Yeah.
vaster than that.
Yeah.
So it helps to reach and go down to that space. And then over time, that space starts infiltrating itself in your day to day. And that's how you can calm down the monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
So
you
that's
start
my
to
tool.
lead from in there. Yeah. 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 I use
Yeah.
the heart math a lot. Yeah. Yeah. That was typical heart math at the that we did.
Yes. And
That's
it's
great.
typical and it's perfect and
Yeah.
it's simple.
It's so
And
simple.
so
Yeah.
I am not coming,
Yeah.
I don't, that's the tool, meaning I
Yeah.
can tell you the three top pillar thingy
Yeah.
and the 5 steps to blah, blah, blah. And they all work, meaning they all will
Yeah.
help you access however you need to access. But the end point is always inner
Mm-hmm.
space, breath,
Yeah.
dipping, surrendering. And there's nothing cheaper and more accessible than your breath. But we don't give it its due, right?
Mm.
We don't say, we
Yeah.
don't admit how powerful it
Yeah.
is. It's too
It's too
simple.
easy. Yeah. It's too easy. Yeah.
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 Our
I,
ego is like, no, I need the hyperbaric chamber.
yeah.
I need to go to Egypt. I need to have the greatest
Yeah.
yogi master to
Yeah.
teach me. I need to
Yeah.
go out
Yeah. I need
with the
ashwagandha or I
edge.
need, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, no,
All
no, of
of
course
that
not.
is
No.
there to
Yeah.
guide you back
Yeah.
here. So perhaps investigate here, right now, as you go out
Mm.
and find other entry points, but continue mastering that very simple method,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I like this idea of entry points because it's all, we're all talking about the same thing. We're just talking
Yeah.
about it in different terms and
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, different ways of hearing it are going to resonate with different people
Yeah.
at different stages in their life.
Yeah. It's the same thing as nutrition. I remember I moved through all the different macrobiotic, vegan, like,
Hmm.
what was the other one? Anyway, there was a whole bunch. I moved
Yeah.
through all that
Hmm.
till I got to the place where, wait, What
Mhm.
do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need right now?
Mm.
Not only for the rest of your life, it might work for 5 years, and then you may have to investigate again. Listen to your body.
Mm.
Calm down. What does your body want? What does it need? What works? Notice what works. How do you feel after you stop going to, this is the method, this is how I have to eat? Perhaps for a
Yeah.
month, 4 years, for 3 years, maybe forever,
Mm.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't let the ideology dictate what the body knows.
Yeah.
So learning to listen, to pay attention, it requires you to calm down, to step away from here and dip
Yeah.
deeper. So
Yeah.
it's always the same, but I needed to go through all of that to settle to a much more loose and flexible methodology, right?
Yeah.
Which is, my body is quite wise.
Yeah. Yeah. And and also, what I like as well about your story, because you're coming, one thing that I'm noticing as well is your original career in the eyes of many people was probably, something that everyone would be like, oh, who wouldn't like, to
I don't
do.
know. I mean, if you don't like working out or if you don't
uh,
like eating healthy, you probably
yeah.
think it's the
No, but
worst
I mean,
career.
even before when you were in the,
Oh, the
film
film
industry,
industry.
yeah,
Yes,
that
for sure.
from the outside, it sounds like maybe a passion
Yes,
type,
yes,
as opposed to a corporate job or something like that. And what I
yeah,
like about your story is because that message that, well, it doesn't matter whether it's a corporate job or a fun job, if it's not aligned and if it's not for you or if it's not your path,
exactly.
still gonna be unfulfilled in it.
So
Yeah,
unfulfilling. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it
there's a
was the same for me
story.
with the horses, actually. I did,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, because I insisted, long story short, I insisted on, following my passion with like horses, which fulfilled like a lot of things. I was like, there's lots of great stuff in it. Well, the horses, obviously, but I wasn't deep down, I wasn't, and then,
Oh,
yeah. And so in the end, I realized that it had nothing to do with, it could have been the horses or something else, but as long as
yes.
I hadn't found a way to express
You.
my nature,
Yes.
like horses or something else, I would never
Yes.
have been
It's absolutely
happy.
irrelevant. I
Yeah.
mean, I won't, you know, just as a matter of speech,
Hmm.
because I don't see it that way, but people talk about going to heaven, right? But
Yeah.
meaning I won't die. Let's say God is a person that you talk to, right? You
Yeah.
die and you talk to God.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way at all. But
No.
my message was about to be, if you die and you go to God, God is not going to say, I'm very disappointed in you. You had four
Yeah.
films lined up and you did not do any of them. What
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's, I really don't think that
Yeah.
that's the end goal,
Mm.
right? So, absolutely,
Mm.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, it's
Mm.
how you feel doing it,
Yeah.
and it can change.
Yeah.
You don't have to be doing a thing for the rest of your life. My career's changed over and over again. I
Mm.
didn't know I was going to do this
Yeah.
now at
Yeah.
all.
Mm.
Allowing the flexibility of your growth to dictate what it needs to do. And if it's impossible, because we all know, I've been an inch away from living in the streets. I know what it's like to be broke and scared for survival. So you can also bring these moments that we talked about into your existing situation. The thing is, again, I think that how we trick ourselves is we always underestimate its power, especially when we're scared in a survival state. It's or something happens where you have no choice and you're just surrendering, but that in between place where you just barely have enough to get going, and all the things that we're talking about may seem so frivolous,
Mhm.
but it actually isn't. It's extremely important to your ability to get out of this situation or to get into it, meaning find a different way to live it. and perceiving it differently
Mm.
will have an outcome that is different.
Yeah.
Meaning, if I treat you like shit,
Yeah.
if I run into you later down the line, you may not be the most welcoming person.
Mm.
But if we have a good interaction and I run into you down the line, it'll be pleasant. You might say, hey, you know what? I know somebody who could use your work. But if I'm an asshole, you'll
Yeah.
never recommend me to anybody, right? The
Mm.
same thing happens with ourselves and our creation of reality. Like I said, what happens in the inside, it's almost like we can't see it in the inside. So we project it on the outside. So now it's like us projected like a movie. It's
Mhm.
like all my internal turmoil is projected on the screen on the outside so that I can see and I can say, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want that, but not in a superficial manner. I don't want chaos and envy and jealousy. I want love and fulfillment and peace.
Mm.
Now that I see it clearly in the outside world, I can choose better. It's
Yeah.
almost like that right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're in the midst of chaos and fear, don't underestimate your ability to cultivate that 2 minute, several times a day
Mm.
of breath and of trusting that there's something there deeper that
Yeah.
is leading you. And and that's the deep seeking. And it's the hardest
Mm.
being in that space and needing to find a way to dip in even for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy, but it's so worth it. And it will allow you to slowly project something different. So you'll project, you'll emanate, you'll put out something different on the outside, meaning it outside, so that it will expand the possibility on the outside.
Mm.
And you'll have choices that perhaps you would not have created to begin with.
Mm.
So that's my deepest sincere message of don't underestimate that power that resides inside of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, especially that it's easy to do it. It's easy to breathe and meditate when everything is going well, and when when life is
Even when it's
good.
going well, it's not
Yeah,
that
true.
easy
Actually, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
this is
yeah.
still
Fair point.
going.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
yes, when you
even
got a
yeah,
monster actually running after you,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you're
So
like,
like
I
that.
want to breathe, but
Yeah, yeah. So it's a great reminder that that everything that we see outside is a projection of
yes.
inside, and
And we've
that
been told that for
yeah,
thousands of
yeah,
years.
yeah. We just
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, it's like it's taking me
Yeah.
50 years as well to to get. It's like, oh yeah,
Yes.
finally I'm starting to get it. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but that
That's really it.
yeah,
We talk and talk, and we have
yeah,
a myriad of podcasts and
yeah,
books and
yeah,
individuals,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's always the same
yeah,
message.
yeah,
So the key is to implement something
yeah. So
and
then,
stick to it.
and so it makes me suddenly, like, I'm thinking about all, maybe all of the people who might be listening to us today, like, all the people in corporate, like they're like, modern monks,
That's right.
because now,
That's
yeah,
right.
it's just,
Well,
it's,
science is meeting
yeah,
the old sages,
yeah,
right? The old
yeah,
wisdom.
yeah,
There's nothing yoga didn't not yoga like
yeah,
how to make your butt tighter and fitter and be flexible, but the
yeah,
yogi
yeah,
way of thinking
yeah,
is meeting quantum physics,
mm,
right? We all know now, most of
yeah,
us know
yeah,
that we are mostly space.
yeah.
If you really settle into that, it's incredible. We are mostly space.
99.99999% space. Yeah, yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah,
mind-boggling. So
yeah,
when you understand, when you see that, and if you're a science-based person, I don't
mm,
believe in God, but I believe in science, and
mm,
science is saying you're 99.9% space.
yeah,
Follow that thread,
mm,
pull that thread. Then meditation makes sense. Then reality follows thoughts makes sense. Healing work makes sense.
yeah,
We are mostly space, we are mostly vibration. So
yeah,
why wouldn't vibration help well-being?
yeah,
Why wouldn't light and sound, which are
Mm.
vibration, help well-being. And
Yeah.
we already have certain modalities that are using, even in the Western system, for broken bones. In New York, they're using sound to
Mhm.
help healing. So
Yeah.
you have kidney stones, we use sound to break them. How does that work?
Yeah.
How does sound go and break them?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those paradigm are merging, where even if you're a hardened science, I believe in science, well, science will lead you back to that mystery.
Yeah.
And so it does, again, another entry point. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Always leads you back to that.
Mm.
So if you're all space, then by all means, embrace space and use it as a tool to bring well-being in your life.
Yeah. Wherever you are, whether it's in the discomfort of the job
Yeah.
or the happiness of of family time or wherever.
All of it.
But yeah, so yeah, we can all be modern monks and
We
using the
are.
tools that
We
we have.
are.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
are. Even when you're fucked,
yes,
even when you feel like you're the
yeah,
greatest mess chaos,
yeah,
we're still the monk
yeah.
sitting down. That struggle
Hmm.
of being fully messed up, and no matter what, you look for the light, call it whatever you want, you look
Yeah,
for a way out, which is really a way in. You are the monk. That's the
yeah,
monk's
yeah,
trajectory, right?
yeah,
That was the Buddha's way. Going through all the things he went through as he was sitting was part of being the Buddha.
yeah.
So all of it is, that's why the seeking out is really the seeking in.
Mm. The more the more we are talking. Um, Not that I never thought about it before, but sometimes the thought pops in that in the grand scheme of things, this whole I'm gonna call this whole reality, this whole game of uh, the job, the all these experiences we are going through in a body, that probably all designed for just for us to understand that what we see outside is a reflection of what's inside. And that doesn't
Yeah.
matter how many times you're going to change job or try to change the outside up until the point that we realize that, oh, I need to start by starting the work from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We never will. I mean, we don't have the ultimate, this is it.
yeah,
At least I don't. But I
no,
can see how, there's a difference between changing jobs, chasing
yeah,
happiness,
yeah,
peace, really, and changing job because you follow your peace. It's
yes,
very different. The
mm,
outcome may look the same from the outside, but if you're just investigating because you're following is what is your passion now, and then your passion changes and it leads you, like I was led from job to job to job, like it changed constantly. It's
mhm,
very different than if you're seeking out of fear and
yeah,
trying to get some sense of I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm lovable. That's a
yeah,
very different trajectory, and
yeah,
it's a different experience of living life, right? But from the outside looks
yeah,
the same, from the inside very different
very-
life.
yeah, mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Isabel, is there something
Yes.
that we haven't talked about that is dear to your heart that you want to express
I
for
think
our
we've
audience?
spoken a lot. Um, I think I'll touch on the energy work
Yeah,
that so many of us do. And
yeah,
I just want to remind people because, I that was not part of my life. And now here I am doing energy work. I'm
yeah,
actually just facilitating it. So I'll
yeah,
go back to that 99.9%
yeah,
um, energy space, right? So if that's what you are,
mm,
really all I'm doing is surrendering to that energy within myself, allowing it. So if you think about it, 99.9% space energy, there is no boundaries between you and the universe, right? There's no walls there.
yeah, yeah,
So this physical body that we see as if it's different than God, the world, it's
mhm,
not real.
yeah,
So it's all vibrations melting, moving, intertwining with each other. And all I'm doing is surrendering to that aspect of myself and allowing myself to consciously surrender and facilitate. I don't do the healing. I just facilitate it through you. You also have an intent, almost like a conversation with God. And through me, stuff happens, but in a way, I'm unnecessary. I'm just there to remind you of that which you are. Just because I might seem a little bit ahead in that understanding. Ahead is not the right word to express it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the goal is that eventually you can also, through your breath, through going to that space of gratitude, connect with the energetic self, which is there whether you know it or not or acknowledge it or not. But now it's as if you have like a race car, but you're never pushing on the gas pedal. And now you're sitting, you have a sense felt of joy, of connecting in a very conscious manner through your free will. And you're like, oh yes, I can do all that. So I like to speak of energy work now in that way, to say that's part of what I do at my center, but the goal is really that I'm unnecessary and that eventually this could just be fun, meaning I can massage myself, but it's so lovely having someone else do it. So that this exchange of modality comes again from a place of joy and sharing, not of I'm not enough, I can do, I am not that, you're that. Again, it's different how you come about those things. So I wanted to speak about it so that all of us, whoever hears that, if it resonates like that, the healing work, energy work is what you are. It's literally what you are. So through that breath, through calming down, through sitting and having a sense feeling of all those vibration that you are, that you can now start accessing very simply that space for you at home in the messy world that you're in, right? It's always there. It's always accessible. You're never alone.
I love it. They're
Thank you.
beautiful words. It feels like they're beautiful words that are a perfect conclusion
Oh,
for
good.
our conversation. Is there anything else that you want?
No,
No, no.
no, I'm all
Oh,
good.
maybe just can you tell us where people can find you?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. So it's simple authenticity
Yeah. Yeah.
stressless.com. That's
Yeah.
my website. It's the
Mhm.
easiest way to go. I have a little bit of a presence on Instagram and Facebook
Mhm.
under the same name,
Yeah.
authenticitystressless.com. I do what's the word in English? I do virtual work, meaning
Mhm.
I can have conversations or I can do healing work or I can even put the picture of yourself in the egg
Oh,
and
oh,
do,
do that.
because think about it, if you're just space and
Resonance.
vibration,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So
Yeah.
if your brain can wrap yourself
Yeah.
around that, then you can have access to all these modalities through just giving us a little email and we'll get back to you. And also, wherever you are, look for harmonic eggs because you
Yeah.
might have one near you. Yeah.
Yeah. But where is yours? Because some
Mine is
people.
in LA.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
LA
I'll make
Malibu.
sure. I'll make sure that with my
Thank
my
you.
tech,
Yes.
my tech skills,
Well,
your
you
that
just need
your
a link.
yeah that
So
your
it's all
email,
good.
people will get your email and
Thank you very
everything. And
much.
yes, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful. Your center, like where you're located, looks
Oh,
absolutely
it's so
beautiful.
nice. Like I'm
Yeah,
surrounded by nature. It's
yeah,
beautiful. Yes.
yeah.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
mentioning it. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope I'll be able to visit someday. you know.
I hope
Yeah,
so
yeah,
too.
yeah.
If not, I know
If
I'm going to
not,
go
this
to.
is you visiting Ireland first. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Isabelle. Thank you
Thank
for
you. Thank
spending
you.
an hour with us. Thank you. And to everyone, love you. Look after yourself. Don't forget, well,
Mm.
remember to breathe. And I'll see you next month for another career and spirituality conversation. Bye.